We've been told many times that time will heal after every argument. It don't. And see, time doesn't close the distance or that gap that happens after an argument. What time does, time reveals who's going to lead. Earlier this week, I had a little argument with my wife, and I was faced with this exact moment, whether to lead or to allow that gap to grow between us. One morning, I was calling my wife because something was bothering me, right? It was something that we had talked about maybe like a day before or something like that. I called her and I just started telling her how I felt about the situation. Mind you, it's just how I felt about it. She heard something completely different than what I was saying. And so when she heard something different, that led to her becoming defensive. And when she got defensive, it led to me becoming defensive. And before I knew it, like we were both just being defensive. We weren't trying to understand what each other was saying, and it was just a whole catastrophe. And see, after we hung up and got off the phone, man, I started to feel so irritated. Like I felt unheard. I felt like she didn't hear anything I said. And then on the other side of that, I know she felt unheard as well. She was feeling like I didn't hear anything she was saying. So with that being said, I knew that she became irritated and I was irritated as well. And see, the weird thing about it was, it's like things were bothering me even more because like our conversation felt unfinished. I don't know if you ever felt that before, but it's just like when we do argue, we never get to a point and we just stop talking or whatever, and it just feels like empty space. Like it just feels unfinished. That was that gap growing. And I could feel the drift between my wife and I growing. And see, I've been here before. And I knew from being here before that I have to say something. I gotta say something. I can't just sit here and let this happen. I got to say something. So I came to the conclusion of, okay, you gotta call her back. And I'll be honest, I did not want to call her back. I didn't want to call her back at all. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, I called you to tell you how I felt about a situation. When I told you how I felt about a situation, it got turned to a whole argument. So like, why would I want to go back and do that again? And then more thoughts start coming in. Like, why do I even try? What's the reason for me going to talk to her? I don't even need to. For what? It's just going to end in another argument. But I realized those thoughts, the thought of, why even try? It's just going to end another argument. Those thoughts right there, they don't build marriage. Those thoughts does not build your marriage. What they do build is distance. Those thoughts create that gap or makes that gap wider between you and your wife. So it's funny how that works. When you start thinking this way, sometimes it suppresses you from acting, and you don't go in and talk to your wife. And if that thing is left untalked about or whatever it may be, that gap just continue to grow and y'all start feeling more and more disconnected. And on top of that, I learned that anything, any thought, whatever it may be, if it's pushing me away from communicating with my wife, then that's something that doesn't want my home to be strong. That's something that's not God. It's not godly. But I called her back. And I can't lie, like I was still feeling it, man. Like it was still hurting. Like it wasn't pride, it was just that hurt. Because let's be honest, like you opening up and you pouring your feelings out, and the person that you pouring your feelings out to, they don't hear what you're saying, and instead you're met with like resistance. That stings, bro. That stings. I had to decide, was I just gonna sit here and let this gap grow between my wife and I? Or was I gonna stand up and lead in my relationship? Because it's not because it felt good. I wasn't doing it because I felt good. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to. But the reason for me doing it is I know that this can ruin my marriage or potentially create something in my marriage that I don't want to be there. So I don't want that gap to grow. So I have to make a move. I gotta do it. When I called her back, I clarified what I was actually trying to say to her. Just get completely clear. I also acknowledged how she felt. So she no longer felt unheard. And then I let her know that I don't want us to stay in this spot. Like, we got to work together to figure out some kind of solution to this. And instead of trying to win the argument, we actually worked together and came up with a solution. And the funny part about it, it was simple as ABC. And the solution that we actually came up, or the problem that we figured out, was we weren't dating. We weren't dating each other anymore. All the responsibilities of work, parenting, taking care of the house, like all of those things, they're good. But the thing about it is, once you're in that mode for so long, that responsibility, parenting, taking care of mode so long, you kind of get on autopilot. And you forget that you and your wife, y'all was a whole team. Like, y'all used to have fun. You wouldn't be together now if you guys never connected or had fun. And sometimes we just get into this place to where we on autopilot, doing what we need to do, being a good mom, good dad. We in this mode, and we forget sometimes. And see, for my wife and I, we just kind of started forgetting to be intentional with each other. We forgot to actually work on making a connection with each other. So when we realized the problem, we started to put a plan together. Instead of staying distant and letting that drift pull us apart, we chose to reconnect. And what we did was we just made up a little simple plan to go out, get some good food, have a good time. And with my wife and I, we like food trucks. We wanted to go and try a different food truck that was nearby. We settled on tacos this time. So we went to a taco truck and tried authentic Mexican food that we really haven't tried before. We had a good time. Like, we went and ate some good food. And we actually went and tried activities that we've never tried before. We went to go do like an axe throwing thing. It was something that was close by. We were throwing axes, throwing knives. And no, it's not typically in our wheelhouse, but why not? We just decided to do something different and just reconnect in a way. And even after that, we went and got like some cookies or something, just to kind of, chill at the end of the day, or chill after the end of the date. We got some cookies, went to go relax, enjoyed those cookies or whatnot. And honestly, it was one of the best times we had in a long time, man. It really was. And I believe more often than not, it was the intention behind it. It's not so much of what we really did that made the reconnection happen. It was us choosing to work together that made the reconnection actually happen. And looking back, I'm actually glad that we had that argument, because we didn't let it, or it brought us and developed us. We allowed that argument to develop us. It didn't divide us. And my wife and I, we've been married for almost 12 years now. And one thing that I've definitely learned is that adversity is going to come. Adversity is going to happen. But that's not what destroys a marriage. It's not the adversity. It's avoidance. When that adversity comes and it tries to drive a wedge between you, don't avoid the thing. Don't avoid what's necessary to talk about, to expose. Don't avoid it, because that avoidance is what's going to create that distance. That avoidance is going to pull you apart and allow that gap to grow bigger and bigger, to where you're disconnected and you're not even feeling each other anymore. Remember, adversity, it doesn't mean that your marriage is failing, but it means there's a chance to grow stronger in it. So the next time you feel that drift pulling you apart, don't shut down. Take a deep breath. Get clear on what you're really trying to say, and then go back. Like, don't wait for her to fix it. Don't wait on the mood to change. Go back. Bring clarity. Acknowledge her and how she felt about whatever it is you're discussing. Tell her that you want to move forward with a solution together. You ain't got to win the argument, but you just got to protect the connection. The distance after an argument, it doesn't have to stay, but somebody has to close it. Why not you? A stronger family starts with a stronger you. Peace.